In this video, we're going to talk about patching. So the patching process is the procedure needed to tell the console what lights we have and actually start to tell the console how we want to control them. So all of this is done within the patch window. So bottom right here, I'm going to go ahead and say patch. So within the patch window, on the left-hand side, we have our fixture table. It's a big old spreadsheet, really, showing you all of the fixtures currently patched in the console. Running down the very first column, we can see the fixture number. So that is the number that we use on the console to control that fixture. And then the next column there, to the right of that, is going to be showing you the start address of each of your fixtures. To the right of that window, we've then got our DMX outputs window. This is going to show you what channels are currently available, and it's also going to show you if there are any fixtures or any addresses, that are unpatched. If you go and right click on any of these single addresses, you can actually set that particular channel to full. You will get a notification there, dimmers unpatched at the bottom. It's just telling you that you're actually bringing up channels manually. Might be useful if you need to try and work out what address a fixture is on, for example. Below the DMX outputs window, we then have the fixture library. This is a library on board the console with thousands of fixtures that's regularly updated. So you can go and find the fixture you need to add in. At the bottom of this window, you have your command line. You'll notice here at the very start of the command line, it says patch. That is telling me that commands I type into here are affecting the patch. They're not our normal commands that we might be used to when we're in the live page, when we're looking at the live view. So the first thing that's a good idea to do if you are patching your console is actually, first of all, clear everything. Might sound counterintuitive, but the first thing you're going to want to do is clear out the patch so that you can actually start to assign your fixtures yourself. A couple of ways of doing that, as there are with most things on Neo. There is a command line based way and then more of a user interface based way. The command line based way is you could literally go and say 1 through 1000 at enter. What that's saying is any fixtures that are currently assigned from fixture numbers 1 through to 1000, they're assigned to channels 1 through 1000. If you do an at enter, that is removing them. An at enter command is an old strand command for remove. But you could have also actually gone to options here. You see there's an options pull down. You could have said clear patch, and you could have done all channels, and you'd have also been able to do it from the user interface there. You'll notice I'm scrolled right down to the bottom of my fixtures here, so I'm going to go and say 1 enter just to scroll me back to the top. So let's go ahead and start doing some patching. Well, by default, a standard dimmer will be selected. Whatever is typed into this box here, that is the selected fixture. That is the one that we will be patching. So I might have 24 dimmer channels that I need to patch, and I want them to start at fixture number 1 on my console. What that will mean is that fixtures number 1 through 24 will control dimmers 1 through to 24. That's a nice way to work. So I'm actually going to go and type into here 1 through 24 at 1 enter. What that command is doing is it's saying that I have 24 of these fixtures, because of course the console can work out that 1 through 24 is indeed 24 fixtures, and it is of course telling me that I want these on fixture numbers 1 through to 24. I've said at 1, so that is the start address of the first fixture, and you'll see that the console has then automatically increased the start address for each individual dimmer channel. But what I want to do this time, I actually want to patch in some Vari-Lite fixtures. I want to go and find some Vari-Lite VL800, so I'm actually going to search in here. As well as searching, if you prefer, you can use it more of a tree structure. So rather than searching in here, I could have actually gone in, I could have scrolled on down, and I can then go and open up the Vari-Lite drop down you can see there, and I could have gone and found my fixture that way. So it's up to you, depends on how you want to work. But I'm going to go and use the search bar there, and I know I want the VL800 event wash. And you can see here I've got a handful of event washes, but the mode that I want in this case is the 16-bit mode in Zone 1. So I'm going to go and click that, and then on the right hand side here I can see my little picture of the fixture there, and I can actually see that it is 22 DMX channels this fixture uses. So what that means is if I want to add in 10 of these right now, I might want to go and say that I want to add these 31 through 40. Now, of course, fixture numbers, that is a user number. It's customizable. I've chosen 31 through 40 because I like to start each type of fixture on either new 10s or new 100s, depending on how many fixtures I'm working with. And you can see there that the next 10s that is available is the 30s. So that's why I've chosen that, but that is customizable. You could have chosen 25 if you wanted to use the next available fixture number. So I've gone and said 31 through 40 because I want 10 of these fixtures starting at fixture 31. And I'm going to go and say that I want these but I want these on Universe 2. I don't want them on Universe 1. So I'm going to go and say that I want these on 2.1. That's telling my console Universe 2, address number 1. If I were to go ahead and hit enter right now, that's going to set fixture 31 to Universe 2, address 1. But it would be setting fixture 32 to Universe 2, address 23. Because remember, of course, these fixtures use 22 DMX channels. So that's fine. If I do that, it means there's going to be no gaps between addresses for each of my fixtures. But it's very common to want to actually have gaps between your fixtures. Maybe it's because you want the flexibility of knowing that you could change the mode to one that uses more channels if you wanted to. But actually, being honest, it's probably more common to leave gaps so that the numbers are much easier to work with. For example, I might want to leave a gap so that I can have my first fixture starting at address 1, the next fixture at 31, the next fixture at 61, and so on. They're much easier numbers to work with. So I can add an offset. I can add a patch offset in. So if I were to hit enter now, that would be fine. It would just get patched in without an offset. But now I'm going to go ahead and say ++, and that will type offset in my command line. So I'm now going to go and say that I want an offset of 30. And I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. So we can see that I've got fixture 31 through 40. They are indeed Vari-Lite VL800 vent washes. And there we go. We can see that these numbers are much easier to work with. If I go to my DMX outputs, I can of course see that I do have unused channels now between each fixture, but that's fine. It's a very common approach to take. But if you didn't want to leave gaps, you could of course not define an offset. That would have been absolutely fine. So there we go. This video covers how we can actually interact with this window a little bit and how we can add in lights. And in another video, we'll actually be going in and talking about how we can start to edit some of these lights once we've got them patched in.